Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Market Friday. This is your girl up here, Gwamanda. Now, today I am so excited. I have someone I look up to so much. We met last year, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm just so excited she's on the show. Her name is Philile Nomcebo Dlamini, so I'm really glad she's on the show. Welcome to Market Friday, Philile.
Thank you. It's actually Nomcebo. Nomcebo comes first, and then Pili. Think Upilile because my sister gave you Upilile first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
but
did.
it's actually Nomcebo. So most people know me as Nomcebo, but Pilile is also fine. It's cool.
Okay, and so I'm just gonna let you introduce yourself. That's what I do all the time. Just gonna let you introduce yourself, tell us who you are, and just everything.
Okay, sure. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Igama lami Nomcebo Philile Dlamini. Grew up, born and bred in Umlazi, Durban. And okay, born in a family of five. I have four other siblings, two sisters and two brothers, and I'm the last one. And then we lived with our parents. And basically, yeah, I grew up as a normal child, went to primary school in the neighborhood, and then later moved on to another primary school, and then I went to Moat Park High School. After high school, things are hectic, eh? Because we asked when people get out of high school, usually like you're expected to have your ducks in a row. We asked what uyofundani, uyofundaphi, uyoyendani, and all of that. Mina nje, I wasn't sure about myself, so nje, I struggled a lot trying to figure out ukuthi ngifuna ukwenzani with my life, where I'm going, where I'm even at. I ended up in UKZN. To cut the long story short, I ended up at UKZN, and then I did nursing, and then yeah, manja, I'm working basically.
Okay, let's not cut the long story short. Let's just bring it back. Tell us
As
everything.
is. Okay, so after high school, okay, I've always wanted to be a doctor. Like growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. Everybody kind of knew that. So nje, it's what we were gunning for. But me being like, you know, ngangidlalele high school, yabo nje, yabo, I was laid back, chilled. I wasn't really serious about school. Lama cliques la, yabo.
Yeah,
So
clicks.
yeah, and then after that, yeah, situtana nabangani and all of that. And then after high school, I realized it was okay. I need to do something with my life. I need to So I ended up Emangosutu. I did a pre-take with quantity surveying and construction management because Ukazunami ended up convincing me, ukuthi I can try that out. So now I convinced myself, okay, fine, I can also try that out. And then it wasn't working out because I didn't like it. I hated it. Fine, pasta and stuff, but I hated it. And then at the end of the year, I failed a module, and you can't fail a module, Connor, because it's pre-take. So I failed a module, and then I tried appealing, and then they were like, "No, you're done." And then I was like, "Okay, so I need to figure out what to do now." So in my mind, I was like, "Okay, let me stop trying to fight this medicine thing." And then I was like, "Okay, let me just go, like, humble myself and go upgrade my maths and physics." I did that. First time around, it didn't work out because I think I was going through a lot of personal anguish and a lot of personal stuff that I was going through. So I was doing isn't just for the sake of doing them. I wasn't like my heart and my mind wasn't exactly into that. So I was just doing isn't just for the sake of doing them. So the first time I upgraded my maths and physics, it didn't work out. I think Imetsiami dropped from the matric one, and then physics Sammy went up. So I realized, what's ish, I need to upgrade again if I really want this. Because I think I was at a point where I had decided, what's okay, this is what I want to do. and I will do whatever it takes to actually get there. So I went and upgraded again. Mind you, like abantu upgrade nje lo. So Nani, I even hated that. I hated myself for putting myself through that. So I was just like, okay. In my head, I was like, okay, so my past sins, I'm actually paying for my past sins now. So it was a really hard time for me. It was a very dark time. I hated myself. I hated life. I hated everything. I'd wake up in the morning, and even ekaya, things were a bit tough. Yabo Sonje, I think everything was happening around the same time. Sonje, it was just a lot. But then I ended up, the second time around, I actually did well, relatively well. And then I got to UKZN, even applying for nursing, because I had decided, it's okay, I'll start with nursing because medical school won't take me straight from upgrading and whatnot, because they only accept abantu who are already graduates and people who are straight from matric. So I was like, okay, so I'll do nursing, and then after nursing, I'll apply for medicine. So I had it figured out, and then I was like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, and then I tried applying for nursing. They didn't take me the first time around. They were like, you apply late and whatnot. Nama results, I didn't know that I had to go back and combine my matric results, because what they were seeing was still the old stuff. So I had to combine that, and it was a long process with Department of Education and whatnot. So I was like, let me just get into humanities, because it was easier to get into humanities, and then I'll just change the degree after a year. I did that, and then I changed to nursing, and then I did nursing, and then I finished it. I completed my degree in 2018. Yeah. And then last year I was doing ComServe. I actually did also apply for medicine again. And I was so hopeful they're gonna take me, because like I'm a Maxam were very good. I was like, there's no way they're gonna deny me. And then again they rejected me. So I was just like, all right. So I actually cried. I cried. I couldn't believe it, because also thought I stood a better chance with IVETS, because IVETS you get a chance to do entrance exam. So I was like, no, bazongibiza for the entrance exam. At least go I failed the exam. And then I'll be like, okay, fine, I failed. But they didn't even call me for the exam. So I was so heartbroken. Like, it was the most heartbreaking thing, because I was like, okay, fine, this time I think I stand a better chance. But they still didn't take me. Even KZN, they didn't take me. Like, I cried because I was like, what's gonna happen to me now? Because it's all I've worked for. It's like I put my heart and soul into this thing, and still
it's all you're said to do.
Yeah, like it's all I wanted to do. It's all I wanted to be. Like I worked my ass off. If ass actually comes off, my ass would have came off. Ass would have came off. But yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
So tell us about, what nursing students should watch out for.
Nursing students at varsity.
Yes.
I always say, like, for everybody in varsity, just try to, like, okay, fine, work hard. Umsebenzi must come first, because at the end of the day, that's what you're there for. And do your practicals, because nursing is a practical field. So, like, you don't want to come out ungazilutho. You don't want to come out after 4 years and ubekwe at a hospital or clinic and you don't know jack. I mean, fine, yes, kuningi ozokufunda in the field, but also come in with something now, you know? And but also at the same time, have fun. Don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, have fun. Uhamba ma-freshers ball, uhambe ini, have fun. Like, if you're that person, like, have friends, have game nights. My friends and I, we were big on game nights, so we had game nights every other night, yabo. So just have fun, make friends, have fun, enjoy yourself, because varsity years are really for enjoying yourself, and and exploring easy and discovering what you like, what you don't like, what you stand for, what you don't stand for. So zonke lezo zinto lezi. Fine, school school should come first, as always, your work, your practicals and whatnot. But then at the same time, do stuff for yourself as well.
Most definitely. So tell us more
Yeah.
about your career and what you do right now.
Okay, so mina again, nursing is it's a very broad field. Not many people know this, but it's like you find hospital nursing where you do bedside nursing, like everything. You basically nurse the patients that are admitted and whatnot. And then there's clinics where you see like in and out patients for different reasons. Abanye will come ngoba bayagula. The mothers and children will come because bafuna ama immunizations. The mothers because they're pregnant. And then abanye will come because beze chronic. They're coming for their medication. So it's basically things like that. And then now what I'm doing now, I work for a private organization, or HST, Health Systems Trust. Tinage, we specialize in HIV/AIDS management and TB. So basically, it's a US funded company that saw the need of help, or putting aid to Southern African countries, or South Africa, because babona ukuthi HIV was a pandemic at that time. It still is, I think, in a way. So, and in view of the 1990 strategy or campaign, or for lack of a better word, the 1990 it's not a strategy, but it's a but it's the 1990 aim by 2023. Okay, I'm losing my numbers, but yeah, but basically the aim is by that year 90% of the population should know their HIV status. And then 90% of those people who know HIV status, ibe on treatment. And then 90% of labantu laba who are on treatment babe virally suppressed. Because when you are virally suppressed, that's when HIV so you stand to live longer. Two, obviously immune system is going to be better if viral load yakho icindezelekile. And then three, it's also ukuthi you won't be able to pass it kalula to other people, especially like your partner or your or umntwana ozomzala. So it's basically the whole aim ukuthi abantu fine, let's live with HIV, but mayingasigulisi, mayingasibulali, masingayitheleli futhi abanye abantu. So now it's actually 95. So basically the company that I work for, we basically deal with HIV testing and HIV management in the sense of okay, fine, we tested you, and you tested HIV positive. So now we will put you in treatment. So once we put you with treatment, we also gonna support you with journey yakho ukuthi okay, you taking a treatment yakho, let's retain you with care. Let's keep like following up on you and making sure ukuthi if you need to take bloods, khona sizo check ukuthi how's your viral load and how's your CD4 counts and how is all of that zonke lezo zinto lezo ezi-technical. So basically we support i-health yakhe ne-journey yakhe and all of that. So basically that's what we do. We deal with the HIV management and care and TB as well.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what would you find challenging about being a professional nurse?
I think that would need a whole episode, a whole conversation, a whole conversation on its own. But I think, there's a lot.
Just name a few, like 3.
I think like it dinga like iyakudinga. It doesn't just need your mind ne knowledge oyaziyo from ukufunda. Like it doesn't only demand ukuthi wazi incwadi, it also needs your heart and your soul. I think ngizosuka kulezi zinto lezi zokuthi amanesi awanakekile. Obviously that's everybody's issue ukuthi amanesi awanakekile, amanesi are underpaid, amanesi are overworked. Okay, fine, vele. That's the case everywhere. But I also feel like for me, mina, like I do community nursing. So I will go to homes a lot. I'll visit people at their homes a lot, and you'll find izimo laphayana, it's hectic. And nanokuthi isemakhaya. So you find things are really hectic and things are really depressing khona, like ama conditions that abantu abaphila ngawo and the poverty there, and nje nanokuthi ingane, they're not exposed to izinto that we were exposed to, so they don't know ukuthi there's life out there. Like they don't have ambitions, they don't have izinto that they aspire to. Nabazali, we can't even blame abazali because nabo all they just want is to put food on the table. And you'll find ukuthi they'll be like abantu ba 15 ba 20, they're all not working. They're living on i-grant kagogo. I-grant malini 1.5.
Yeah.
So I think that's been challenging personally for me to see ukuthi abanye abantu baphila kanjena, and it just drains you. Nanokuthi nje you find ukuthi umuntu uyagula and ne condition futhi aphila kuyona, it doesn't make it any better. Omunye uzofisa ngisho nokuthi umthathe wena or umsize from your own pocket. So it's like things like that just drain you. By the end of the day, you buya endlini, you just drained, and you're thinking of zonke lezi zinto lezi that futhi you can't really do anything about it because it's somebody else's line of work and abakwenzi lokho. So, but yeah, I mean, we survive. We survive. And yeah, no workload now, it's a lot, but I mean,
yeah,
impilo must goes on.
Yeah, life goes on. So tell us about a patient. You don't need to necessarily mention the name. Tell us about a patient that touched your heart, and tell me about the patient that changed the way you practice.
I think every day you get patients who will change your heart. You will get patients who will change the way that you practice. In the sense that, okay, Mina, I never wanted to be a nurse, but I found myself as a nurse. I'm sure baningi abantu out there abenza izinto abangayifuni. But at the end of the day, when you walk through the gates of whether uya e-court uyolwela i-client yakho noma uya esibhedlela, you're going to help patients, uya ekliniki to do whatever, uya eminini, or you're going to the site ukuthi uyowenza whatever, engineers noma yini, akekho umuntu who's sitting there asking you ukuthi, do you like what you do? Are you here because you've always wanted to be there? Akekho umuntu okubuka ukuthi ama-circumstances zakho that got you there. Akekho umuntu ozoloku ethi how animdabikeleni she's not where she wanted to be. At the end of the day, when it's you facing that patient, when it's you facing that client, when it's you in that board meeting, you have to deliver. Whether you like it or not, whether you're there because angazi kwenzakalani, wathatha i-wrong turn, wathola so at the end of the day, you have to deliver. So I think nanokuthi, like, other patients, there's nothing that's more fulfilling. Okay, fine, the paycheck is fulfilling, but there's also nothing as fulfilling as once you've done everything to help umuntu, they see that and they say, ngiyabonga. I honestly wish I can give you something because you've really helped me. Like athi gogo omdala, ngiyabonga mntanami. You know, there's nothing as nice as that, knowing ukuthi now where you had an impact in somebody's life, now where you did okunye stress izinto ezincane, okunye umsebenzi wakho, it's a job to do that. And then fine, omunye you go the extra mile ukuthi okay, lo othi ngimsize, even if it's like not necessarily my job, but you do it. There's nothing as nice as that genuine ngiyabonga, God bless you. Like, there is nothing as nice as that, because when it's really genuine coming from that person, it really hits your heart. And even if you don't get another thank you, because we're not working for thank yous, that thank you keeps you for the rest of the month, for the rest of the year, because you know, Wuti, I'm impacting somebody else's life and I'm helping somebody else's life that way, you know. So I think that's what always makes me want to like practice better. Nanokuthi futhi, I think I started understanding ukuthi when I go to work, it's not about waking up ekuseni ngiqede ibhentshi or ngenze lokho ekumele ngikwenze and then leave. I also came to understand ukuthi okay, this is where I am manje, and this is where God, the universe, and my choices all put together. This is where it's put me. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow, and I know this is not where I was yesterday. So I started looking at waking up and going to work. It's an opportunity for me to better myself, you know. It's an opportunity for me to actually build myself up, because at the end of the day, what you produce is on you, because you in yourself, you are a brand. I mean, Apiwe Kwamanda is not just to Apiwe Kwamanda. There's so much that follows you. So you didn't want to make a good brand of yourself.
Yeah.
So I think it's also like doing that, making yourself better, making your brand better, working for your name, and all of those things that keep me going, you know. Because nakusasa I'll be somewhere, and it's what I do now that's gonna have an impact on where I'll be tomorrow, I suppose. So yeah.
Okay, so if you can turn back the hands of time and tell your 18-year-old self something, what would you say to her?
My 18-year-old. Yo. I'd tell her to take it easy on herself, not in the sense of like I'd tell her not to hold back on herself. I mean, did I say I told her? I tell her I tell her never to hold back on herself. I tell her to be okay, because okay, if you said what would I tell my 16-year-old, I'd tell her something different, because my 18-year-old self, I'm saying, so you need to do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tell her to love herself. I tell her Uguti, she's all right, and she doesn't need to have everything figured out, to just like give herself to everything she does, basically. I think that's all I'd say.
Yeah. Okay, so since COVID-19, you guys have been experiencing a lot. So just
Yeah.
tell us what would you say the health sector needs more of?
I think healthcare sector, guys, the healthcare sector, I think the healthcare sector, it helps you if you want to help yourself.
Yeah.
It helps you if you want to help yourself, and it helps you if you want help. There's only so much we can do as a healthcare sector to help people, because lento le goes to the saying yokuthi prevention is better than cure. That is true, because tina we come in sekubheda vele sekumele ukuthi yabo sisize la esingasiza khona. So prevention is better than cure. So I think like ayikho into engadlula ukuthi, because firstly, the South African health system is not a great one. You can't compare us to Europe and stuff like that. Sisayizamela nathi sayipatanisela. I mean, fine, we're better than other countries, but siyapatanisa nathi. And so I think with regards to local, I think people should just like, let's just try to stay alive and try to keep away from ukula and stuff, because the healthcare system as South Africa is already burdened enough with local. We don't need the corona on top of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think sizoba, I don't know, sizoba right, but then kusazoba nzinyana,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have so many, I have mixed feelings about this whole corona thing. Nana would say I have so much to say, but yeah, and there's a lot of politics, 40, like there's a lot with corona,
A lot.
so
Yeah.
it's just too much. It's a lot. So I think fundamentally we should just try to stay alive, just keep from getting it.
Yeah. So now you see a lot of people coming into your clinic from different ages, groups, and sizes. What health advice would you give them?
Health advice I would give them is to take care of themselves. Because akekho umuntu who will ever take better care of you than yourself. Especially to the young females. They need to take care of themselves. They need to take care of their productive health. Like they need to take care, because you find a lot of girls coming in with sexually related issues, and abanye banendaba, abanye abazi nokuthi kwenzakalani. Omunye you'll see ukuthi they're showing symptoms of this, of whatever it is that you can see. Umbuza about it, aphika umuntu. So you never understand what's okay. what is it about? Nanokuthi, I also think that nanendlela okhuliswe ngayo, it gives you a certain degree of comfort with approaching health yakho.
Yes.
So I think we should just be open to the fact that okunye ukugula uzokuthola nje, not because uyaganga or whatever. Okunye ukugula nje uzokuthola just because it's nature and stuff. So it's really important to take care of yourself and understand and know your body. So when you're seeing changes, like, you know, if it's something that's serious or if it's something that you need to seek medical health or you know. But I think, like, to the younger people, we should just try to be more open and more concerned about the health yet, you know, and more vigilance when it comes to that.
Okay, just a quick word from you, like the last and final word. How would you say your upbringing contributed to who you are now?
Yo, guys, my parents. I think my parents played a very huge role, and God, like, I'm a huge believer. I'm a huge believer, even though I won't always say it. I won't always show it, but in secret, I'm always like, God, this, God that, you know. But I think, my parents, my dad, he was strict. Growing up, I thought he was strict, but now I see, that man really wanted the best for us. The one thing that he always said was that there is nothing more important, like, in the world, and especially in the country that we live in. There is nothing more important than a woman who's going to get her own bread. So he raised us the way that he raised us because he wanted us to actually understand that and to actually hold that, you know, and to make every decision forbearing uguti. There's nothing more important than having your own bread, you know, because he told us he's not going to feed us for the rest of our lives. And alafuni yena ukuthi ebesedla impesheni yakhe ebese ondlana nathi.
Yeah.
So he was like, go out there and get your bread, and don't focus on men, because umuntu wesilisa angaze akwenzele lutho. Just go and get something that nobody's ever going to take from you, and go out there and just get your own basically. So I think that contributed a lot in how Nina and also my sisters turned out, you know. So, and also I think what I can give to, like, Abantu, I'm not a wise person or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think see every day as an opportunity. See every day as an opportunity to make something of yourself.
Yeah.
Because what you do now, you kind of the saying that we plant today and we eat the fruit tomorrow. So plant on yourself, plant on whatever. Yeah, plant on whatever you want to see growing tomorrow, and take each day as an opportunity to do that. Take each day as an opportunity to plant your seeds and water your seeds until you see your flowers blooming and whatnot, and seeing what a beautiful creation you've made, basically. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Eva, for being on Market Friday. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm so glad. I was really excited you coming on here, and I'm just so glad you were. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored.